Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. So by now, we've all heard and seen the news. The news will probably be inundated for the next few days of Queen Elizabeth's passing. And while I am not a personality to celebrate, a death, I don't care what the person did. I don't care what their situation is. I do not think that celebrating a death brings any good karma to you as an individual. That's just my personal opinion. What I do challenge people is, now that this has happened and it has also dredged up a lot of history, ugly history that was swept under the rug for centuries, I think that it is good for us to talk about those things and keep sharing those stories, those atrocities that many people have suffered at the hands of the monarchy, historically speaking. And can we say that, Queen Elizabeth did this or that, or this person did that? There's a whole long line of people long before her. And like I said, I'm not celebrating anyone's death, but what I will say is that anyone that has ever been victimized, anyone that has ever been marginalized, anyone that has ever been treated in any type of horrific way. I saw a video, and I really can't remember where I saw the video. It may have been on Black History Unlocked, I think is the name of the Instagram handle. And it was a woman who, I'm not sure if she's over 100 years old. She may be over 100 years old, but she's talking, a Kenyan woman. Now, all you have to do is Google Britain and Kenya, and you will find all the information that you need. But the atrocities that went down is mind-boggling. If you've ever read up on these stories. I remember first hearing about this or reading about this maybe sometime, I would say maybe the latter part of high school going into college. And I was just thrown, because growing up in a West Indian household, any West Indian kid knows, whether you're Jamaican, whether you're Trini or Guyanese, Grenada, wherever you are in the West Indian or even Caribbean diaspora, the Queen, England is very much in your history 24/7. I would say even more so than America, because so many of these smaller countries, these islands and things, were territories of Britain. A lot of them still continue to be territories of Britain. A lot of them have, of course, gotten their independence over the years. Jamaica got their independence, and a few others. But there are many that are still part of the territories. And the way that a lot of these smaller countries feel, which I always grew up knowing this, is that they feel like, you have a bigger superpower that has come in and taken so much from your resources, your land, and just everything, So I know that a lot of countries question a lot of things in that regard. So it's kind of it's not, well, to me, it's not surprising that there are mixed emotions out there. Some people are literally celebrating, and others are, looking at the reverence, of the situation in their eyes. I definitely understand how people can feel jaded and people can feel like next. I totally get that because I grew up in this my whole life, so I totally get it. But like I said, this is a time for awareness. So instead of putting the energy into celebrating and these memes and all of that is not going to do anything but foster bad juju. You know what I mean? And that's not even my thing, but you don't want to foster bad stuff around you because it keeps negativity in the air. What I would rather do is give people facts on groups that have been horribly tortured, historically, all of the stories that we never hear about, the stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Just like in this country, nobody really wants to talk about slavery. People just want folks to get over it. It's over. It's done. And it's very tough to see that just for the fact that black folks haven't even been voting that long. Women haven't even been voting that long. Women in general haven't even been voting that long. There's just so many things that we have gone through as just human beings that we have never should ever experience. But like I said, this is a time for awareness. Google Kenyans, or just Kenya and Britain, or Kenya and the Crown, or however you want to phrase it. And you will understand why people are feeling away. It's hard to watch. It's hard to stomach. But I think that when situations like this happen and these things get dredged up again, we need to keep it in the forefront so that people can be aware that these are indeed things that have happened. And we need to keep it out there so that the younger generations will understand. And they will see what the true history of a lot of our nations in this world have been. There's so many things that, different countries want to erase. No, this is not the time to be erasing history. This is the time to teach people right from wrong. Right? What is the saying? Those who do not, address history are doomed to repeat it, or don't, something to that effect. You have to know the history of these things. We never want to go back there again. At all. And seeing a video of an older woman who was tortured by these British soldiers. And I want to say she was a little bit over 100 years old. Just to see her talking on camera in this day and age, in this modern day. Talking about how she had a pickaxe. That they punctured her leg with a pickaxe. And she showed her scar. Horrific scar. And I can't imagine. I believe her husband, they were torturing her for her to give up the location of her husband, who was one of the, people who was rising up. I tell you, again, I can't tell you guys what to do. I can't tell you what not to do, what to do. All I'm saying is celebrating somebody's death, to me, that puts bad karma in the air. Instead, take that energy, that same energy, and educate people on true history, because it definitely has dredged up these different things with Kenya once again. So this is a time to take that and roll with it. Share this history so that people can understand. There was a whole lot of stuff going on, and Black Twitter and Irish Twitter in Ireland has a long, sordid history with Britain. And India, all these different places. So what we have to do is take the energy that we've been using to throw hate and take that energy to educate. So don't hate, educate. Because we need to educate these younger generations of what really has happened in some of our countries, here in this country and abroad. And so that's how I choose to, people's like, what's your reaction? What do you think about, I know your family's from the West Indies, and, the Queen in Britain is a big deal. And it's true. I mean, nobody's going to see anything posted on my social media as far as her death is concerned or anything like that. I have not posted anything. I don't plan to post anything. I did plan, however, to do this podcast about it. So like I said, let's take that energy that we're using to kind of, poke fun and get back at. Let's take that same energy and educate people on these major pieces of history that have been wiped clean, to make people appear in a way that they are not. Right? And I think that would be the way to go. Jump on that train and educate people about the history that no one wants to speak about. I think that our energy would be best used that way. But again, it is, of course, my opinion. People choose to do what works for them, and I respect that, But I think this would really be a great opportunity to bring these things up, because from what I'm seeing on social media and some other outlets, that people had no idea about some of these missing pieces of history. So that tells me that it's not talked about enough. So let's take that opportunity to do that, All right, you guys. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. And like I always say, like, share, subscribe to this podcast. And hit me over at Instagram, because that's my most active social media, at Onyx Queen Media. Talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye. Online savings simplified. Don't search for coupon codes ever again. With one click, Honey's smart shopping assistant will automatically apply discounts to your cart in seconds. Save on all your favorite things. Easily pay less for products you're already buying online. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Join Honey for free. It takes 2 clicks to add Honey to your Chrome, Safari, Firefox, or Opera browser. Find savings in seconds. While you shop, Honey will find working promo codes across the entire internet, and you save instantly. With one click, Honey will apply the best deals to your cart. It's that easy. So what are you waiting for? Get Honey. Download it today. Visit our link, www.tinyurl.com/ONYXHONEY. That's www.tinyurl.com/Onyx Honey. Start saving right now.